So when I was a teenager, when I was around 16 years old, 9/11 happened. And for some reason, I had an understanding that the greatest thing we could have done after 9/11 was simply give $20 million to end world hunger, and that was it. If we would have taken that simple route, we would have done two things. We would have saved trillions of dollars along with millions of lives, right? But we would have played a major role of leadership throughout the global community. The world would have looked at us and said, oh man, look at the biggest military on the earth, right? Look at the biggest superpower. Look at their nuclear might. But they would have looked at us from a perspective of strength because we would have shown a sense of restrainment. If we would have just donated $20 million to end world hunger after 9/11, our middle class would have exponentially grown because the world would have had our back. But instead, the subsequent wars we got involved in financially stripped the middle class away from any potential power it may have had. And we got a subsequent squeezing. And this was so significant that in 2007, a couple years after, we had a great collapse and we had a recession somewhere in between it all, followed by many close recessions bordering close to a depression, right? Now, whatever I just told you, the leaders know that, right? The leaders who have control over the military and financial systems, they understand what I just told you. However, they still chose the path of retaliation. And the retaliation got us nowhere. The same way our leaders understand it, our leaders are deeply involved in history. Whatever happened over there, right? And the way we see a imminent invasion about to happen, those leaders understand that retaliation will solve nothing. The only thing this retaliation will do is squeeze the middle class. It's going to squeeze the middle class of our ally over there, and it's going to squeeze the middle class of this country who funds by the billions our allies in that region. Not only is it going to squeeze the middle class, but it's going to create a karmic loop. Now, this karmic loop is going to go on forever and ever. As long as everyone over there is intertwined and intermingled and willing to reciprocate violence, willing to reciprocate retaliation, this is going to go on forever and ever. It's going to go on from opponent towards enemy, and it's also going to go on from people who are serving, who come back and are displeased with the actions they had to take, displeased with the narratives they were told, and through their service had to sacrifice their humanity in taking the humanity of others. So in short, this retaliation is the worst thing that can happen for the retaliator because of the subsequent cycle that follows. May not be today, may not be tomorrow, but definitely within 30 years will be a cycle that follows the trajectory of a downward spiral. And unfortunately, the only solution is the most simplest solution. And that solution is forgiveness. A unilateral surrender to the idea of forgiveness. And if we can't do that, we're done. Check out episode 26 of the Dark Matter Myth podcast, Consenting to a Better You. Thanks for watching.